If you had to choose between an EV and an IC engine car, you would probably make a decision without much thought, because the difference between them is quite obvious and you can point them out easily. On one side is the quick accelerating motor of the EV, which gives you instant peak torque. And on the other side is the mechanical soul of the IC engine, where you feel the gear shifts and the engine's raw power. But the confusion starts when you have to choose between an EV and a hybrid car, because a hybrid is neither fully electric nor is it completely a fossil fuel vehicle. Some hybrid vehicles behave like an EV and some like an IC engine vehicle, and this very thing increases the confusion even more. So, in this video, we will clear this confusion. We will understand the important differences between EVs and different types of hybrid vehicles. By the end of the video, it will be clear to you which hybrid technology is a better choice than an EV and which is not. But to understand this comparison, first of all, we have to understand both these technologies at a basic level. First, let's talk about the core components of these vehicles. An EV is a very simple machine. Compared to a hybrid, it has much fewer components. The main components of a basic EV are battery pack, inverter, electric motor, and a compact transmission. Most EVs have one or two motors, but in high-performance EVs, 3 or 4 motors are also seen. These different motor configurations help EVs achieve different types of performance. This is just like how IC engine cars have different drivetrains, like front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Talking about transmission, generally a single-speed transmission is used in EVs, but in some EVs you might also see 2 or 3 gear systems. However, these transmissions are still very compact and lightweight compared to traditional gearboxes. And if you want to understand why a single gear is enough in an EV, a detailed video on this topic is already available on the channel. The link will be on the end screen. Now, if we look at the components of a hybrid vehicle, the story gets a bit interesting here. In a hybrid vehicle, you get almost all the components of an IC engine vehicle, but along with that, EV components are also added to it, like battery, electric motor, and inverter. In simple words, a hybrid vehicle is much more complex than an EV. And how much this complexity will be depends completely on the type of hybrid vehicle, how big the battery will be, how powerful the motor will be, and the type of transmission. All these things can be different in every hybrid. Hybrid vehicles are of many types, but usually you see 3 main types of hybrid systems: mild hybrid, strong or full hybrid, and plug-in hybrid. Don't worry, you don't need to get confused seeing so many hybrid systems, because understanding them is quite easy. First, let's talk about the mild hybrid. This is the most basic hybrid system. In this, along with IC engine components, there's a small 48-volt battery and a starter generator motor. This motor cannot drive the car independently. Its job is only to assist the engine and reduce the load on the engine. If you stop at a signal, the system turns the engine off immediately, but the AC, music system, and lights keep running because they're taking power from the 48-volt battery. Apart from this, its motor helps in starting the engine and also provides extra torque to the engine during heavy acceleration. But there are limitations to the battery and motor in this system. It can help you in light traffic, like at signals, but if you talk about heavy traffic where you have to stand in one place for a long time, or where you have to stop and move repeatedly, then it won't be effective because the engine will start and stop just as many times. The solution to this problem is given to you by a strong hybrid, also called a full hybrid system. In this hybrid system, a larger battery is used, from 1 to 2 kilowatt hours, and the motor is also powerful enough to drive the car alone without starting the engine. In fact, there are 2 motors in this hybrid system, called MG1 and MG2. MG1 works like a generator. It generates electricity from the engine's extra power to charge the battery, and also works as an engine starter. The second motor, MG2, directly turns the wheels and also performs regenerative braking. With the help of this motor, a strong hybrid car can easily drive in traffic without starting the engine and behaves like a pure EV. But its battery is not big enough to give you a long-distance range like an EV.
It can give you a range of 2 to 3 kilometers at limited speeds, but if you increase the speed, the engine will kick in. That's why it's not as efficient on the highway as it is in the city, because at high speeds, the engine has to run constantly and the battery doesn't get a chance to charge through regenerative braking. So if you're one of those people who drive more in the city, then a strong hybrid is a very good option. But if you want a car that gives you an EV-like range and also doesn't give you the anxiety of running out of charge, then here is the PHEV, or plug-in hybrid system for you. Mild hybrids and strong hybrids are self-charging, meaning no external source is used to charge the battery, but you can charge a plug-in hybrid from an external power source, like an EV. A very large battery is used in a plug-in hybrid, up to 10 to 20 kilowatt hours. This allows this car to run 50 to 80 kilometers in pure EV mode at high speed. And when the battery runs out, you can start the engine and use it like a normal IC engine car, meaning like an EV for short trips and petrol backup for long trips. But there's a very big disadvantage to the plug-in hybrid. It's dual technology. It's a proper EV and also a proper IC. Because the battery is so large, the weight of the car increases significantly. When the car is running only on engine power, it gives even less mileage than a normal petrol car because the engine has to carry the extra weight of that heavy battery pack. Similarly, when you drive it in EV mode, the motor has to pull the extra weight of the engine, transmission, and fuel tank, which affects its range. For this reason, a plug-in hybrid is a bit less efficient than a pure EV. Apart from this, a plug-in hybrid does charge from regenerative braking, but that's not enough to fully charge its battery. So now that we've understood all the hybrid systems, let's finally compare them with a table and summarize the video. So first comes the pure EV. It's a simple machine, zero noise, instant powerful torque. But to charge it, you need home charging and planning, and it also takes a lot of time to charge. After that come hybrid vehicles, in which the most basic is mild hybrid. It only assists the engine and can give a 5 to 10% improvement in fuel efficiency in light traffic. Next comes the strong or full hybrid. It has a mid-sized battery and 2 motors, and it can run for 1 to 2 miles in limited speed in EV mode. It offers you very good mileage in the city and is self-charging. After that, next is the PHEV, or plug-in hybrid system. It has a large battery that gives you a range of 30 to 50 miles, and you can charge it from an external source like an EV. It gives you the benefits of both a proper EV and IC engine car. So I hope many of your doubts regarding EVs and hybrids have been cleared. If you have any questions or suggestions, please share them in the comments. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.